Tonight's special Week 2 edition of the Sunday Night Talk is up and ready. Wow, what a round of games. Some surprises, and I gotta say, it was a good week. Hey, and as you'll see, Omar Carmona is shot out of a cannon this week on the show. The man has thoughts. Also, don't forget, on my YouTube channel, check out my other show, Running It Back, where I interview interesting people and dive into subjects, and sometimes we actually learn something. Coming up on the talk, we talk games, we talk coaching decisions, we talk fashion, and you have to listen to an Emmy theme round of the awards for Week 2. Yeah, the Emmys are going on at the same time as the games. Right now, the Sunday Night Talk, Week 2 of the NFL. Omar Carmona, you have the ball, 3 seconds on the 1-yard line. Cam Newton is your quarterback. What do you do? What do you do? The Sunday Night Talk, right now. All right, we are here on the Sunday Night Talk, recording this on a Sunday. We just finished New England at Seattle.
What a game. What a game.
Capping off Week 2. What a slate of games this week. Glorious.
This was a very busy week. Lots to talk about. But before we move on, Pat, this is my second week on the show. We got to do something with the music. We need like some maybe some intro music. Maybe something
You want music, huh?
I think I want music.
Into you and I talking, because I put something in the final edit, but maybe we could put something for you and I to hear.
I think I need that. I need to get pumped up. I need to get like amped up for everything I need. Maybe like the final countdown, something. Maybe I need something.
Wow, you were shot out of a cannon already Sunday night.
You know what? Maybe I'll find something for me. I'll put on the headphones. I won't bother you. You do what you got to do.
Well, before joining me, my general counsel, who's going to be with me every Sunday night, Omar Carmona. We just finished the game. Question for you. Is it too early to say these are Cam Newton's Patriots?
Way too early. I think they weren't even Tom Brady's Patriots. These are Bill Belichick's Patriots.
Oh.
And he always puts them in a position to win the ball game. No matter, again, it doesn't matter against who. It doesn't matter who's starting at quarterback. He's going to put his team in position to win a game. And that's why it's now and will always be Bill Belichick's New England Patriots.
Well, let's go through the last minute of the game. It just finished. Cam Newton's down. What was he down, 5?
Yes.
And he's throwing the ball like I've never seen Cam Newton through the ball. He always has a rocket arm, but he's putting the ball in tight
all the
spaces.
receivers were in sync and great routes, great hands. They did a really good job marching down that field and almost taking a win out of Seattle.
Yeah, and then, of course, in classic New England, Seattle fashion, we have a goal line play to finish the game. What do you think of the call?
I like the call. I mean, obviously, the execution didn't work out, but it was a good call. I think you still want your big, strong quarterback running through the line and getting the 6 points. Just didn't happen for them tonight.
That play worked earlier in the game, so of course, run it again, right?
Go with what works. It just didn't work this time.
So much like memories of the Marshawn Lynch, Malcolm Butler Super Bowl. Should they run? Should they not run? Here's my – I didn't hear Collinsworth say this, so I'm not blaming him. Here's my favorite commentator reaction. I love when it's a goal line or it's 3rd and 2 and they run a play and they don't get it, and the commentator says, hey, I don't like the call. Like, well, no shit, because you know what happened already.
Yeah. Hindsight is always 20/20, and the commentators fall victim to that kind of crap too.
Yeah. How about this? This is my new week-to-week thought. Every week I'm thinking in my head, Brady Belichick. We got Tampa Brady, Bill Belichick. Just what do you think? Who won the week? Brady versus Belichick?
Oh, good
Because
question.
Tom Brady won this week and he looked pretty good.
Obviously, Tom Brady won the week. He found a chemistry with his probably his biggest and best target in Mike Evans. Godwin needs some time to, I think he's on concussion protocol right now. But, there's plenty of weapons there for Brady to succeed with. I like Tom Brady this week, and I think he definitely got the edge. Last week, obviously, was very different, and we'll see what happens down the road.
Okay. I'll play devil's advocate.
Okay.
I say Belichick wins the week, harder opponent, away game, and new guy at QB, and he's humming right now.
That's tough because you know what? That's still a tough. Tampa Bay still had a very tough opponent. It's a division game. They played Carolina in home, but really this year no one has home field advantage. They're playing to an empty stadium. I'm sure there's sound effects and whatnot, but they know that no one else is watching. I thought Tampa Bay did a good job. They found Leonard Fournette. He got in the end zone a couple times, I believe. Good running game. Tom Brady, you don't have to put up 350 yards anymore and 3 touchdowns to win. I'm not going to call him a game manager, but he's going to lead his team to some big wins this year. Trust me.
You know what else I liked? I was watching little clips of the Buccaneers game. There was a play where Brady hands it off, and I think the running back fumbles it, and Tom Brady dives head first trying to recover the football. It's not like a critical part of the game yet. This dude's still a gamer. He's 45 years old, and he's jumping head first into piles trying to get a fumble so he can retain possession. That dude doesn't stop. Extra points for the effort.
Been there, done that. He knows what it takes to win a championship. He also realizes that for his team to perform, he's going to have to do things in front of his young team, which gets them to buy into exactly the system Tom Brady wants. I'm not going to call it the Patriot way, but now it's the Buccaneers way, and Tom Brady's definitely spearheading that.
Speaking of leading the young players, I don't know if you noticed this. The gray's gone. I don't know if he dyed it or he trimmed it up. I didn't see any gray sideburns or temples on him this week.
You got to believe that his hot model wife, supermodel wife, I'm sorry, she makes all those decisions. Like, she has to, right? I mean,
I can't believe she let him out of the house with the gray last week.
Yeah, I don't know.
It was an away game. Maybe she wasn't there.
Maybe not. But you know what? Obviously, he's still Tom Brady. So, he's going to be able to come out dressed the way he wants to, looking the way he wants to, and it's still going to look good.
How, back to New England, Seattle, how pumped up were you for this Sunday night game? Last week, I was telling you, I was sputtering to get into the NFL, but this week I was up to speed. So I was pumped for New England, Seattle.
I will say this was the first weekend, and I don't want to go off topic with the football because we got a lot to talk about tonight, but I'm going to say that this was a huge weekend. I mean, I was flipping through the channels last night. Kids were asleep. I'm watching, NBA playoffs, in the bubble. Baseball playoffs are about to begin soon, and there's, they're going through the pennant races right now. College football, although not looking the same, but there is college football. And then this morning we have the final round of the U.S. Open. The Golf U.S. Open. Stanley Cup started last night. Some big games in soccer going on. So this was the first weekend that I think we're almost back to where we want to be, normal again. And so I was definitely pumped up about this Sunday night's game, especially because I'm really impressed with the way Cam Newton has taken control of this New England offense. And I'm not saying he's on all cylinders right now because I know he still needs to get some timing going on with his receivers, the play calling. But I was really excited about this game, and I think the Patriots are going to do some big things. I don't know if they're going to win the AFC East, but I think they may be a playoff team.
I like also adding to the sports. Today, the Tour de France ended today. They moved the Tour to later this summer this year, so this was a huge sports day. The last stage was today. How about this? previously, I always thought.
Patrick, you may be the only guy here in the States that cares about that, but yeah, that's pretty good.
You know what, counselor? I'm going to dismiss that comment. I'm going to edit that whole diatribe out of this. I always thought October was the best sports month. I think September this year is the best sports month. Football started. We had at the beginning of the month the tennis U.S. Open.
Yeah.
So I think September's coming out hot.
It's got to be this month. This is, for any year, this is going to be the greatest month of all time, just because of what the country has gone through, the sports world has gone through. It's great to be able to watch sports again, and although we do miss the full stadiums and the roaring crowds, we miss all that, but it is good to have sports back. Usually my pick is always March, April. We have NCAA.
Yeah, you were saying you're a springtime sports guy. That surprised me.
We got spring training in March. We got NCAA March Madness. We got drafts are coming up. The NFL draft, NBA season is winding down. MLB is about to start up. So I've always appreciated the March, April slate of activities, but this definitely takes it. To have sports back in September after everything being locked up in a house.
School starting again for the parents. That's good.
Get them out of the house.
Yeah. I always can tell all my friends with kids. I can always tell when their kids are like asleep because I start getting the text messages. I start getting Snapchats. I start getting little photos sent to me. I always can tell when someone's kids are asleep because there's just a wave of information.
Well, it was kind of like
how
today.
How big is it when the kids go to sleep to you?
Well, you sent me a text message. Hey, do you want to talk about some things for the show? And I said, not right now. I got to get this guy to sleep, and that's just the way it is. It's huge that they're back in school, but I'm glad sports is here to kind of take my mind off things.
What's the Zoom school situation for you? They're Zoom. Do they go to school?
My kids are back in school, and I couldn't be happier.
It's Christmas Day for you.
I'm going to be very honest. I'm just not a second grade teacher. I'm not a second grade teacher.
That's fair. How about details of the game? Here's my first question with the game. How long before Pete Carroll starts chewing his own face mask instead of his gum on the sideline? That guy's chewing 3 pieces of gum at all times.
That's Pete Carroll. He's the oldest coach in the league. He can do what he wants.
Is he really?
Yes, no. And you wouldn't think so, but he's the oldest coach in the league.
Hair.
Yeah, but he's in phenomenal shape, and he's a pistol. But Pete Carroll can do whatever the heck he wants to do. He's won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, great Sunday night game. Leads us into our first segment. Your game, my game. We each watched a game. You go first. First, do you want to give a shout out to your team won this week?
We'll talk about that. But we lost some major players.
San Francisco won, but you lost players. What happened?
From what I'm reading, Jimmy Garoppolo out 4 to 6 weeks. I think Mostert may not be out next week, but we definitely lost 2 studs on the defensive line. Solomon Thomas, who was a top pick of ours back in 2017. I think he was a 3rd pick. I mean, obviously that pick is always going to be second guessed because that was the Mahomes draft. But we also lost Nick Bosa, reigning defensive rookie of the year.
I didn't hear what happened to him. What's the
ACL. It looks like it's an ACL, and he's done for the year.
That's bad.
That's going to hurt because come playoff time, you want fresh legs going into that line at all times. You want to run, just wear your opponent out offensively where they're struggling to get yards. That's what wins playoff games. With Nick Bosa out, the 49ers are going to struggle. So it was a terrible week for me.
Well, give me your alcoholic beverage celebration rundown. If our teams win, we get to have an alcoholic beverage on the show. You won. I find out tomorrow if my team wins or not.
Okay, I'm not really celebrating. We did get a win, so I'm going to say it may taste good. It may taste good, but it's not really a man's drink. I went with White Claw.
Oh boy.
It's something my little sister drinks. 2 carbs, minimal calories, but it tastes okay, which is what the San Francisco 49ers win was today, but definitely not on my list, not on the top of my list. When we win, that's when I start talking about some Johnny Walker, when I start talking about some good beer. But for right now, I am going to have a beverage, and it's going to be this weak, lame White Claw. And don't forget, they played the Jets, so I'm not really impressed.
Yeah, so you're drinking under protest.
Exactly.
Yeah. What about last week you tore up Sam Darnold? What about your boyfriend Sam Darnold this week? He
was
kind of
still bad.
He stayed bad.
He was still bad. There's the Jets are the Jets. And so I'll give an award right now. What team still looks like the 2019 Jets after week 1 and 2? The 2020 New York Jets. They're just a bad football team. And I don't want to blame the players. It is definitely their coach, Adam Gase. Nobody seems to want to be motivated to play for this guy. I think that the ownership there in New York really needs to make a move now. There's really no point to keeping him on. Let's get rid of him and get a coach that can really help Darnold get through his growth. So the Jets are terrible.
So boyfriend Sam Darnold in the basement.
Lower than that.
Lower than the basement. You dumped him. You dumped Sam Darnold boyfriend this week.
He's buried underneath the basement.
Take him out of your yearbook.
Done. He's out.
All right. Which game did you watch?
I watched Buffalo, Miami.
But why did you watch that game?
Let me tell you, because, again, the Patriots really intrigue me. But here's the issue. Are the Patriots going to win the AFC East? So I wanted to watch this Buffalo team who has really impressed me. I think they are going to win the division this year. They're going to finish in front of the Patriots. I still think the Patriots go to the playoffs. Believe me, I still think there's a chance to get that wild card spot. But I think that the AFC East champions are definitely going to be the Buffalo Bills. They're led by a young quarterback, Josh Allen. Let me give you his stats. Phenomenal. 24 of 35, 417 yards, 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Did not cough up the ball. He's a runner. He goes through his reads. He hits the open receiver. And, man, that last drive, he took a chance, threw it long, put it right on the money. I love the chemistry he has with Diggs, his receiver. This is going to be a great year for for Josh Allen. And I'm expecting great things. But I watched that game, and he was just on it. I mean, it's just an efficient offensive performance. Stephon Diggs, 8 catches, 153 yards, and a touchdown. He wasn't doing that with Kirk Cousins, but I knew he was a great receiver. He comes here with a real quarterback, a guy that can scramble, beat you with his legs, beat you with his arm. I love Josh Allen. And, by the way, he's my starting quarterback on my fantasy football team, so of course I got to love him.
Oh, you are all in on Josh Allen.
I am all in on Josh Allen. I think that he should at least when this is all said and done, at some point in time in his career, he is going to be considered for an MVP award.
What? Oh, wow. Shots fired.
You watch. But again, and then I love, the NFL is just so much better when the Buffalo Bills are back, when the Buffalo Bills are in. I love the NFL, and they got great fans, a great stadium, an incredible following all over the country, even when you're not in Buffalo. So I really feel good for that franchise, and I really hope they do some great things.
Quick, who's your favorite Buffalo Bills player ever?
Ever.
Yeah, go ever.
Great question, but I'm going to go with their leader back in the 90s. I'm going to go with Jim Kelly. Close second.
The K-Gun. Wow.
Yeah, K-Gun. Close second also in those years. But Thurman Thomas was a great running back out of Oklahoma State. Just knew how to be a running back. Let's just put it that way. And that 90s, those 90s Buffalo Bills teams, it's unfortunate they never got their title, but again, it's just a great franchise. So I'm so glad to see that Buffalo's 2-0, and I really do think they're gonna take over for the New England Patriots as far as the kings of the AFC East.
You just reminded me something with the 90s Bills. There were 2 helmet innovations I remember with the Bills. First one was, who was the guy that essentially had a helmet over his helmet. Do you remember this?
There was a few, but there was also a Niner. I think it was Bubba Wallace that also for the Niners had that. But
Right. Yeah, there was a Bill guy and a Niners guy. And they essentially had like an additional plastic hat that he Velcroed to his helmet because it would pop off all the time.
I never knew what that was. No, that's a good
I don't know
question.
what that was doing either.
I need to look that up. I never knew what the hell that was, but yes, I remember the Niners player and the Bills player. I don't quote me. I don't know if it was Metzelaars or not.
We're gonna need to. I'm gonna need to.
Look.
Also, a guy on the Bills who had a helmet contraption. He would take his helmet off, and it was tied somehow, and it would hang off the back. Do you remember this?
That was an old O lineman. I got to look back at that.
Okay, good. I'm not misremembering.
No, that's true. That's true. That is very true.
Helmet innovations.
I can see his face. I can't think of his name. But, I used to watch a lot of Buffalo football because they were so good for such a long period of time in the 90s. So I'm glad to see the Buffalo Bills. But I think Josh Allen, the way he runs, the way he throws, he's the real deal.
Wow, you're a secret Buffalo fan.
This year, well, Chris Berman always used to pick the Super Bowl, and it was always 49ers and Buffalo. Hopefully, I don't know after today, the way the 49ers got beaten up, but I think Buffalo could definitely shake things up in the AFC.
That's your dream matchup right now, Buffalo.
Oh, I'd go to that 49ers game. I'd go to that Niners game.
The game I watched the sweatpants LA Rams at the Philadelphia Eagles. This game was a good game, but it started really slow. I'm king of picking slow games. First question, there's at one point where the Rams are up like 24-3 or 21-3. Can the cardboard cutouts boo? What about that? When the team's playing so they need to boo them.
So I saw on social media that the Eagles sound crew was sending out boos to their own team as they were going off.
Oh, so really? Okay.
It's fair. Philadelphia.
Fair.
For God's sakes, Old Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia had a jail and a magistrate judge booking people in a jail. So it's a tough place to play. But go on. What was with your game? What caught your eye about the Rams?
The sweatpants Rams. First of all, they're still wearing sweatpants. Second of all, they still have the patch on their shoulder that says Los Angeles Rams. I still don't know what that's for. As if someone's like, hey, turn on the Rams game. Oh, my favorite team's the Rams. Oh, I see on the ticker Rams versus Eagles. Hey, which one's the Rams? We know. Why do they have that patch on there? It's going to drive me nuts all season. I wonder if it's covering up something like a sponsor or something.
It could be.
And second thought I had, say it's a blowout. Can the cardboard cutouts start leaving early? They should be able to leave early.
So are you telling me that you're an NFL owner, and you would hire somebody to go in the stands and just start picking up random cardboard fans?
Yeah. The maintenance man starts removing the cardboard cutouts mid-fourth quarter if they blow a fourth down and they're down 24 points. They need to be shamed. So then I thought, for my talk with Roger Goodell, the sound operator, because I'm watching these games and they all have sound operators now, but it's always loud. It's just loud, consistent sound. So now I think the sound operator has a protocol. Per half, the sound operator gets 2 bursts. You can turn up the volume really high 2 times during the half. And if your team ever goes down by 14 or more points, you lose 50 decibels. So you lose the decibels per half.
That's a great take. What if you accidentally hit the decibel button?
You're banned. You're banned to the grounds crew.
That makes sense.
Yeah, we can't just have a free-for-all where you just pump up the noise the whole game. There needs to be some protocol here. That's my offering to Goodell.
Let's take it to him. Let's see what he says. Let's see what Goodell says. I mean, I know you and I have been sending him letters last several weeks. Let's take it to him.
Sound operator. Here's my other thought. I forgot that the Philadelphia Eagles drafted Jalen Hurts, and they put him in a couple times just as a decoy, but they could really use him. They could use him for stuff. And then the announcer said that this is his first appearance in games, so apparently didn't play week 1. He got in a couple times as a decoy. Could use him. Start utilizing that guy.
They're going to start using him. He may be. They got to. Wentz, I think he's a good quarterback, not great. And he's also obviously had an injury bug throughout his career. So we'll see what happens there.
Yeah. Also, like in the game, there was a point in the game where the Rams were sharp, dude. There was like a 3 to 4 minute stretch where Goff is running the no huddle. He's getting out of the huddle quickly. He's calling offenses, and I think he went 7 for 8 or 8 for 8 on one drive. There was a part where he audibles, the play clock is running down. He makes all the moves. They were sharp. I got to give the Rams props. They looked really, really good for like 18 minutes stretch there, and then they end up winning the game. So It ended up being a good game. The Eagles gave them a fight, but great game. And then the game's on Fox, and here's what I love about watching Fox and CBS. You're watching the commercials, and at some point they start showing commercials for the shows on Fox, and then you go, this is a real show? There's a commercial comes on called LA's Finest, and it's like Gabrielle Union and Jessica Alba are beat cops, and they're jumping up. I'm like, this is a real show? And like, at least humor me, Fox. Like, you can't be a cop and fight crime and your hair's not in a ponytail. You can't fight crime with your hair's down. Even I know that. Unbelievable, Fox. What? Those are my thoughts on the game. Play Jalen Hurts and put Jessica Alba's hair in a ponytail.
That would be good. That's good. Good thoughts.
Okay, on to this game. Did you watch Atlanta at Dallas?
I did.
That was a great game.
If you're a Dallas fan.
Was that the weirdest onside kick you've ever seen?
How innovative. At least I haven't seen it. I'm sure it's been done before, but I haven't seen it.
I didn't.
Ball, just leave it on the floor, spin it, and I don't know what happened. Here's my theory. I think Atlanta thought they saw that ball had so much spin on it because it was definitely coming in spinning. I thought they thought that while it was spinning, it was going to just die before the 10 yards and they wouldn't have to do anything. Okay? Granted, again, in game speed, it's obviously a lot faster, okay, than the TV shows. But I think they were hoping it didn't even make the 10 yards. And that's what happens. I mean, according to the rules, if it doesn't make the 10 yards, you can lift your arms and say, well, we don't have to touch it because it didn't go 10 yards. So I think that's what those three boneheads were doing. Obviously, it picked up some speed towards the end, and somebody should have jumped on that football.
Good job to the kicker who gave it a little draw. It's going slow, and it takes a curve into 10 yards. And then super negative points to the three guys that looked at it, and that was hard to watch. No, like, have you guys seen an onside kick before where they were looking at it like they were afraid of it?
Well, let me ask you this. You're a kicker. What strategy would you use? Because I had never seen that strategy of putting a football. I've never seen that in a pro game. But what strategy would you use?
I go back and forth on the onside kick because it's been 30-plus years, and we still haven't figured out a viable onside kick strategy. It still heavily favors the receivers, and it's very random. I always thought, why don't they do a little – has no kicker figured out how to do a 10-yard pooch kick where the ball's in the air for 10 yards so it's not bouncing around? Like, I bet a soccer player could kick a ball in the air and have it land close to 10 yards. Why can't an NFL kicker? So that's my first thought if we're thinking onside kick innovation. But my favorite onside kick, I've only seen it happen in movies, is where the kicker is staring down the front line of the receivers, and he's picking the one that looks scared, and he boots the ball right at his chest, and it bounces off him. I think I only seen that in Any Given Sunday, and that's it. What's your favorite onside kick?
My favorite onside kick is the one where the kicker just drills it into the ground and it pops straight up because that's the only way you're going to get
jump ball.
It's a jump ball. Give your players a chance. I think we saw that one year in Seattle, at Seattle, Green Bay, Just give it a jump ball. The one I can't stand, because I don't know what they're hoping to accomplish. I think I've only seen it work one time, is when the kicker basically is in a dead sprint, kicks the ball, and basically follows the ball himself, and then tries to shield, these big linebackers, from touching the ball.
Screen.
Yeah, he tried to screen, but himself, that never works. And that's a pathetic onside kick.
That's a good one. That one, I can't see that one working unless it's a total surprise. Total surprise onside. Yeah, the little.
You know what I'm talking about? The kicker is literally running side by side with the football, and he's just staring down at it until it hits the 10 yards.
Try to shield people. I've seen him where the kicker tries to actually recover it.
Oh yeah, they spread their arm. They spread their eagle's wings. It's pathetic.
Wow.
They're losers. They're losers.
How about a quick round of would you rather? Would you rather onside kick against today's Atlanta Falcons, or would you rather onside kick against that Green Bay team that blew the onside in that Seattle playoff game? This is a real Sophie's choice of.
You'd rather onside kick, meaning you'd rather be the hands team?
Oh, no. Who would you rather onside kick against? Would you rather onside kick against today's Falcons or that Green Bay team that blew the onside in the playoffs 3 years ago where it hit the guy in the face?
I'd rather be on the Falcons situation because it was just a bonehead play,
So you'd rather onside to the Falcons? You're the kicking team.
I'm the kicking team?
Yeah, you got to choose which team you want to onside against.
I'm going to onside against the Falcons because they're boneheads.
Me too. Yeah, I think 3 people were dumb on that play, whereas the Green Bay one, maybe only 1.
The rest of the team's got to be a bunch of idiots.
I got to say, though, that's a Hall of Fame onside kick attempt. Hall of Fame. From the beginning, the ball's not even on a tee. He just places it on the ground.
Right.
And right from the start, you're like, I'm all in. Let's see what he does.
Let's see what he does.
That'd be great.
No, that was a great onside kick.
Excellent onside kick. Had the drama. It had a little draw. He kicked it. You thought it wasn't going to work. And then the Cowboys recovered it. Here's my thought on the Cowboys. Cowboys were I think the only team to have fans. They had like 20,000 fans, and it was a great game. Does fans equal a great game? Do we have to have fans in all the stadiums now?
Not right now. Obviously, even I could tell in Seattle, it wasn't like playing in Seattle the Sunday night. They're trying their very hardest with these, simulations on stereo, whatever you want to call them. It wasn't the same thing, and I think that definitely affects the outcome of a game. I really do, especially in a city like Seattle. But again, I hope this ends real fast because I don't like watching games without fans, but I watch.
The Cowboys had fans, and then they keep cutting to Jerry Jones in the press box, which might be the greatest watch. I will take just a picture-in-picture of Jerry Jones in the press box in the corner of the screen all game long.
Well, they have a camera on him all the time during the game.
I want that on the screen all the time. I want it in the corner so I can see what's going on.
A little box on the screen dedicated just to Jerry Jones.
I want that because there's always people in the background. You're like, who's that guy? That guy looks super wealthy. That guy could be related to him. You get to see what he's eating. And then you get to see him cheer. He always has funny cheers. Scale of 1 to 10. How much fun do you think Jerry Jones's luxury box was when the Cowboys won the game?
I can say this, and that wasn't even in Jerry Jones's box, but my old law school friend got me into a box at a 49ers Dallas Cowboys game. He was able to get me into a box for the whole game for that. Again, it was Niners Cowboys. I want to say maybe it was 2014, 2013. Great time.
Whoa, you have luxury box experience.
It was a luxury box experience. You walk in, and there are buffalo wings. There's a fridge full of beer. There's chips, snacks, anything you can imagine. A luxury restroom. Jerry spared no expense. It was great. And
Wait, this was in Dallas?
This was in Jerry
So
World.
you were in the Jerry Jones boxes watching Cowboys 49ers?
I was in a box.
Oh, my God.
One of my most favorite experiences.
I got to make some life changes. That's unbelievable.
I didn't pay for it.
How can you go back to anything after you've had that experience, though?
Great question.
It was
extremely hard because the next NFL game I went to after that was in the old stadium out in San Diego. I saw a game with Peyton Manning and the Broncos traveled to San Diego, and I'm looking around. I'm like, man, these guys are suckers.
Oh my God! You went from Billy Zane on the Titanic to Leonardo DiCaprio.
Exactly.
On the third class. Oh
yep.
Man. How about this? I have a new question for you, since you are indeed a lawyer. This question is called Defend Your Client.
Okay, let's hear it.
Here's my question. Atlanta has the big lead. Dallas starts to come back.
Okay.
And then the TV camera starts to show Arthur Blank, the Falcons owner, on the sideline. Now, last time we saw Arthur Blank on the sideline was the New England-Atlanta Super Bowl meltdown. They start showing Arthur Blank. New England starts coming back. Ultimately, they lose the game. So This is a repeat offender. Arthur Blank standing on the Atlanta sideline. Dallas is coming back. They beat him. Arthur Blank on the sideline. Defend your client.
Defend him. I don't have to. My client pays for everything. Okay? He signs the checks. If he wants to be on the sidelines, God bless him.
But he's bad luck. Well, counselor, he's bad luck.
A man that has that kind of money, I think he owns it. What is it? It's Home Depot, isn't it? That he runs. Yeah. He doesn't need luck at this point. He's got everything he needs. If he wants to wheel a toilet down there and drop a deuce in front of the entire planet on Fox News, he can do it. He pays for it.
That's your case. He paid for it. He's the owner. He can do whatever he wants. That was defend your client. That's hard to argue with if you own everything. He's like, I'm going to do whatever the hell I want.
Absolutely.
As soon as they showed him on the sideline, this is bringing back bad memories if you're Atlanta.
Absolutely. Oh, and it was a similar choke job. It was they would
very
get the ball,
similar. It was
they would get the ball back and then just wouldn't know what to do with it.
That's a tough one.
That was a painful loss.
That was painful. I'm worried about Atlanta. I'm not touching the panic button yet on Atlanta, but that's going to be a hard one to bounce back from.
Absolutely. So, speaking of that team, I believe that would you mind if I started giving out some awards?
Let's do it. Let's do the awards segment of our show. The awards for week 2. You want to start us off?
We talked about Atlanta, and the award that I'm thinking of is best player on a real shitty team. Okay? Real shitty team. And Atlanta was real shitty. But let me tell you something. This wide receiver, Calvin Ridley, he's special.
And the award for best player on a shitty team goes to
Calvin Ridley.
Wow.
Wide receiver, Atlanta Falcons. I saw a stat. I guess on one of the stat windows, they had Julio Jones passing their all-time leading receptions player, Roddy White. Roddy White was a great wide receiver. Played with Matt Ryan. Julio Jones comes up. Roddy White gets to mentor Julio Jones. Julio becomes a superstar. I mean, it always seems like every year we're talking as Julio Jones being a top 1, 2, 3 wide receiver, no worse than 3, right? But and then the luck for them to get another wide receiver who I think is going to be an absolute stud, who's going to destroy a lot of these records in Calvin Ridley. Great player, shit team. That's my award to Calvin Ridley today.
My award for best player on a shitty team goes to Christian McCaffrey.
Ugh.
He does everything. He's a slot receiver. He runs the ball. He catches the ball. His team is just They're kind of bad. They're just bad. He is the Ashley Judd in the movie Double Jeopardy. Good performance, bad movie. Christian McCaffrey. I didn't work out an acceptance speech for him, but
So if I remember that movie correctly, it's like saying you're hot, but you're just not going anywhere being that hot.
you're limited by the script. Yes. She's doing everything she can, Ashley Judd. Just
Right.
like Christian McCaffrey is running good cuts on third downs, but they just can't get him the ball. I blame his supporting cast. So, best performance on a shitty team, Christian McCaffrey. To me, if we're going with the Emmys theme tonight, the Emmys is going on.
The Emmys is
All
going
right.
on.
Next award, best costume, goes to Andy Reid's visor. 2 weeks in a row, the visor.
Yeah, it was a good visor. I
I
heard
now call him the visor.
solution. He bought some solution to take that fog off.
It was totally clear this week, and he has little ventilation holes in the top. I still don't know how it attaches to his hat. I got a good look at it, and I think it's attaching somewhere on the bill, but I don't know. He's the only coach that goes visor. Best costume, Andy Reid, the visor.
That's good. With best costume, I'm going to give you 2 nominees, and it's 2 team nominees. Okay, but we're talking costumes. We're hiding things, right? Costumes hide things, and what these 2 teams did, they're definitely hiding things. I'm going to go with the Atlanta Falcons that we already talked about, and the New York Jets. Great uniforms. They are fire. I mean, these uniforms are slick. The thing is,
who did you say? Falcons and who?
Jets.
Wow, love for the Jets.
I love their uniform. I love that green. It's back to the old 80s uniforms.
What a surprise award.
And guess what? But what they're doing is they're disguising the fact that they do not have a football team. So that's my award. That's a great disguise. Great disguise. Great costume.
And two teams splitting the award, huh?
At least they look good, is what I say.
Atlanta's already got 2 awards in our Emmys edition awards. They're like the show Frasier.
Yep.
Best hair and makeup award goes to Steve Belichick's mullet. Steve Belichick, the son of Bill Belichick, is just rocking a mullet on the sideline. I'm claiming a little bit of coach freedom here. Like, I don't think he could do that unless his dad was the coach. But the dude's got a full-on mullet on the sideline.
I'm gonna go same team. I saw Cam Newton had his little hoodie up, and that rope, that lasso was still just hanging out there. He just really loves that look, so that's my award.
Okay.
Cam Newton's haircut.
Best hair and makeup. Okay, you go next. Do you have a next award?
I was not prepared.
Okay, I got. You sit there. With that.
Look, I'm drinking too much White Claw.
I have a few more.
Go for it.
Best drama in a game nobody watched. The KC overtime versus the Chargers. No fans in the stand. It was the early West Coast game. This was an awesome game. KC versus the little upstart Chargers, who started their backup QB at the last minute.
He found out that he was starting right before kickoff.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah, what a thing to hear from the coach. Like, you're going in rookie from, I don't know what college he's from, but
so Washington. So for that kid to come in and just hear, hey, you're going in, Tyrod Taylor's not coming in anymore, and to go out and deliver that kind of performance against the reigning Super Bowl champion, against an MVP player like Pat Mahomes, and just go toe-to-toe with him, that was impressive.
He was slinging. He was running. He was taking hits. It was great.
That performance alone already got him some Rookie of the Year award points for him, okay? He is going to be a special, special player, Justin Herbert is.
Best performance on a game that nobody watched, definitely. And he looks like Brad Pitt in the movie Troy. He's got the long locks. He's got a huge head. He's like 6'5". Great performance that nobody watched.
I hope it works out for him.
Next award. Best performance in a Subway commercial goes to Bill Belichick again. He's sweeping the Subway commercial awards. They're replaying the hell out of that commercial. I can't get enough.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it was on last year, but maybe
Was
not.
it?
I
don't remember.
I don't remember. It just seems like I've seen it before. But yeah, you're absolutely right. Bill Belichick needs to stop with those commercials.
It may, if it was on last year, it may disqualify him for this year's NFL Emmy Awards. Okay. And my last award, the Chris Collinsworth Wow Award.
What do you got?
This goes to the Kansas City kicker who not only had to make the game-winning field goal, he had to do it 3 times due to a false start penalty, a timeout, and then he finally kicked it. He made all 3 kicks, 1 52-yarder, and then with the penalty, 2 57-yarders.
Right. That was
unbelievable. I already forgot his name. Butker. His name's Butker. He gets the Chris Collinsworth Wow Award.
Well, I'm going to do a wow. It's going to be ugly, though. A lot of people are not going to like this. My wow award goes to Kirk Cousins. Wow. How bad that guy sucks.
Wow, this is a negative award? You can't give negative awards.
He was just absolutely terrible. That Indianapolis Colts team went out to, I believe last week they went out to Jacksonville and just put up a stinker of a game. I don't want to bore you real quick. Let me just let you know what Kirk Cousins, the kind of numbers he put up. 11 of 26, 113 yards, 0 touchdown passes, 3 interceptions, was sacked 3 times, put up a rating of a 15.9. Okay?
Wow.
On a team where you got a receiver like Adam Thielen, you got Dalvin Cook, this Irv Smith Jr., Justin Jefferson, a great young receiver, and that's what you're putting up. You paid that guy way too much money. That's my wow. You are so bad, Kirk Cousins. Minnesota has to draft a quarterback come this spring in the draft.
If Kirk Cousins was a bad TV show, which one would he be?
A bad TV show. I haven't seen much bad TV.
You can go all time bad TV shows.
We're gonna go all time bad TV shows. I'm gonna say Beavis and Butthead. I just feel that there's 2 guys in his head, and they're both just laughing, and they have no idea what the hell's going on. It's that kind of effort I'm seeing from Kirk Cousins. Just absolutely terrible. How about you?
I'm gonna go a TV show called My Two Dads. It was a TV show.
I remember that one.
I think it was somehow there was a child and they didn't know who her father was. So the judge decreed that she have to live with both fathers.
Right.
And one of them was Paul Reiser. I don't remember who the other one was. And the judge would periodically check on them. It was a flawed premise from the start. Kirk Cousins, you are my Two Dads Award. Bad TV show.
Terrible
Unbelievable. I got to look that show up. I wonder what happened to the other guy. I don't know. Bad TV show.
I got it. Look, he was the cool, because there's always a cool dad.
Right. Yeah.
Right. And a real, uptight dad. And Paul Reiser played the uptight dad.
He was the do your homework, go to sleep, and the other dad was like let her free a little bit.
Right. I see the guy's face. He had another like 90s style mullet. It was a little short on the top and a little longer in back, and kind of dressed. He had denim and his bright shirts on, and I think he had this beard and a goatee or whatever. He had an earring. He was a cool dad.
It never got off the ground.
Never.
The show My Two Dads. Kirk Cousins, My Two Dads Award.
Yep.
For being the worst. Yeah, I went impressed award. You went not impressed award.
Not impressed. Wow.
For our Emmys.
Wow.
Tomorrow night, Monday night, New Orleans at the 1-0 resurgent new Las Vegas Raiders. I don't know if there's going to be fans or not. I don't know what's going on. But Monday night, who do you got?
I got the Raiders tomorrow. There's no way.
Raiders.
I've seen pictures of that stadium. It's a masterpiece of a stadium. I hope they open that stadium up off with the win. I really want the Raiders fans, and you could probably speak to this more. I want them to feel comfortable with their team, and I think a big win tomorrow against Drew Brees would do just that. What do you like?
I'm gonna go optimistic Pat approach. Raiders are coming off being 1-0. They're
Right.
new. They're Las Vegas now. Derek Carr is full of confidence. New Orleans is still feeling it out. They're traveling to Las Vegas. They start really slow. The Raiders build up a 10 to 17 point lead. The Saints come back, but the Raiders limp home, and they win the game. They go to 2-0. That's optimistic Pat
I like it.
prediction, and we start
I like
off strong in the Death Star that is their stadium. I've never seen an all-black stadium before.
But
I don't know where that aesthetic choice came from.
But it's the Raiders. It's Raider Nation. They have to. So
It fits.
I'm very excited about tomorrow.
Yeah, me too. All right, they could go 2-0, and I will have a. Ooh, can I bring a alcoholic beverage to celebrate a Monday night win? All right, I'll think about that.
You got to.
All right. Well, week 2 in the books. Omar
Done.
Carmona, solid, done. On to week 3, on to Cincinnati.
Let's.
We should sign off each show with a coach quote.
What do you got?
Let me think.
Let's just go with winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. Vince Lombardi.
Here's
Patrick,
mine.
thank you very much.
Hello, you play to win the game.
That another classic.
Week 2, thanks.
Take care, bud.
Okay, that's it for the Sunday Night Talk, everybody. Thank you, Omar Carmona. Thank you for defending your client, Arthur Blank of the Atlanta Falcons. Thank you to all the backup QBs that made an effort today in all the games. And especially, thanks for listening, everybody. Don't forget, Running the Back comes out on Thursdays. The Sunday Night Talk comes out on, well, Sundays. Every Sunday, shows. Thanks, everybody. See you soon.